Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Objection Live. Let's try this again. We had some audio issues this morning, so I was not able to finish the show. We had already gone about an hour because I spent a little time chatting with y'all before I started the show just to get some people coming in and stuff in the morning. I kind of like to chit chat for a little bit while people start coming in. And yeah, we had some audio issues towards the end. I only had about maybe 15, 20 minutes left, if that. And so I added a little bit more stuff to the show, just so we could go an hour. Hopefully, we don't go over an hour. But I did add a couple stuff here at the end of just some scragglers as to like what people are saying um, on the streets, all the citizens, what their reactions are so far. A little Friday night recap of what's out there. What are people saying? What are people sleuthing? This time around, I remember when the first original complaint dropped, and even the amended complaint, I was part of the sleuthing crew, and and then later on, I kind of started to like amplify other content creators and all that stuff. But I'm kind of like both. I like to sleuth, but I also like to amplify other content. Especially on X, that's how I started. Initially, I was like reposting everyone's content because my whole thing with my X account was I wanted it to be like a repository, like to remind me like what people were saying or like what was going on. And I would use my X account constantly to like go back and find videos that I had watched or wanted to uh, reference when new stuff came out and stuff. And so yeah, I this time around I have not sleuthed yet. I haven't gone through the exhibits like comparing stuff and all that. So I think I'm going to do that this weekend and kind of take a little break from cuz this morning when I said I was going to do a show tomorrow morning, I thought it was Thursday, y'all. It is Friday, so obviously I don't do morning shows on Saturdays. I think I have done a couple morning shows on Saturdays, but am I covering the Sarah Woods Depot? I don't have that in this show today, but I do want to cover it probably on Monday's show, maybe Monday morning show. But I do have that in my notes to cover that, the Sarah Woods Depot. I kind of want to cover all the depositions, like do a little show. But tonight, hopefully, when I'm done with my show, I'm going to try and wrap it up before she goes on. Lauren, I encourage you guys to go over there to her because that was kind of when I was debating, like, do I do a Saturday evening show or something? I was like, this is why there's so many of us creators because when we need a little breather or break, we have other creators to come in, and she's doing a deep dive into all the exhibits, which should be a good show. And I might end up consuming that on Saturday instead of putting together a show. I will have the show Sunday for all you people who are waiting on David. I put that show together this morning after we had the flop with the morning show. I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and put together a night show to finish this up. And then I went straight into putting together Sunday show. So that's all put together and ready. It will come on Sunday. So let's see who we have here. We have who is this? We have Christina Armand. Thank you so much, Christina. We have Mamacita, Jessica Lisi, who is a member. If you guys don't know, if you become a member, you can get one free super chat a month. So if you wanted a super chat today for $2.99, you could become a member. It supports my gas station coffee runs as well as the StreamYard. And yeah, so thank you for being a member, Jessica Lisi. Missy is also, I said Missy. Mamacita is also a member. She said she's going to listen while eating dinner. Thank you so much for the support. That gas station, Columbia. Literally every time, yes, Khaleesi. I do have that gas station, Columbia, and it's so funny you guys say that. I did add some almond milk into it, and then put some ice in it in a different cup. So I'm not drinking it normal, like just black and just straight out the 7-Eleven cup. But it's so funny because I was just thinking about y'all when I got it because I was like, you guys will forever be memorialized every time I get coffee because I'm always gonna think about you guys. That's like our little inside joke and stuff. So happy Friday, y'all. I can't scroll up because y'all were here early. There's tons of messages from a while ago. I said early. I guess I was late, huh? About 5 minutes. She said, Life with Carrie said, it's my kid's bedtime, but I'm going to try and listen after I get him down. Oh, thank you so much for the support, Life with Carrie. And yeah, I know how hard it is to get kids down. I've heard about. I watch a bunch of TikTok videos where it's like doing the army crawl and all that. So good luck with that. Hopefully you get him down soon. Michelle said, I just got coffee, more coffee. Yeah, I actually took a little nap after I put together all those shows and stuff. And then I consumed content for about 2 hours. And I don't know if it was just me consuming 2 hours straight of Baldoni content. I ended up taking a nap. Wait, what? I heard there's a new trend of adding unsalted butter to black coffee. Trish, what? I'm going to have to look that up. I have not heard that. And I don't like, what does that do? Unsalted butter. That's crazy. The MSJ night me out, I still feel a little blue about it. Yeah, there's still some people having the MSJ hanging. And I think that's what's happening to me too, because I'm consuming so much of it. But like I said, someone said happy MSJ day. I think it was Laura. She said it commented on a video, one of my edits. And later I saw the comment and I was like, it's going to be happy MSJ month with how much content there is, not just one day. But you know what, you guys, if I don't reply to your comments, I'm actually not getting any notifications when y'all comment. And then when I was going into studio, like YouTube Studio, to reply to the comments, I thought it was showing up all the comments and I was replying. But then today I went into YouTube Studio on my laptop and it shows way more comments. I had like 100 and something comments that I hadn't replied to from old videos and all this stuff. So I do appreciate everyone who leaves a comment. It does help the algorithm and everything. So I do appreciate it. And if I don't get back to you, that's why. But I do try to, I'm going to start checking on my laptop so I can get back to everybody. So today's show, part 2 of the Lawyers React. We have a couple more lawyers to get into. And then, like I said, I have what the citizens are out there saying on the street. So we're going to get right into it. We left off with not actually golden. So if you guys are just tuning in and finding this video, there is a part 1. And I will link that in the comments so you guys can go watch that. So we left off with not actually golden's take on the actual motion for summary judgment. And so we're going to get right into her comments on why Lively skipped the motion summary judgment and why it was smart. So it says why the 56.1 statement matters. So in SDNY, anyone filing an MSJ must list every undisputed fact with citations. And I remember Googling this when I was like, what's the difference between the Rule 56.1 stuff in Baldoni's MSJ? Because there was 2 drops. There was a 73-page one and an 83-page one. And one was memorandum of law, and then it was the Rule 56.1 state or, filing. And I remember I was like, oh, what is Rule 56.1? So basically that's all undisputed facts, because in order for it to go to trial, there has to be disputed facts so that the jury can decide, like, okay, the judge says, well, these facts are undisputed, so we need a jury to figure it out. So that's what it is. So they're basically saying that there are no undisputed facts. That's why they admitted, yes, all this stuff happened and they just added a context. And we had talked about in part 1 how that's the word of the day when it comes to the MSJ is context, context, context. A lot of the lawyers were saying that adding the context there really mattered. So the opponent must respond line by line, identifying which facts are disputed. This helps the judge instantly see what's contested and what's not. And we are going to get that reply until December 13 because they moved the goalpost saying that, they needed an extension or whatever. So instead of, having it be in November, now we don't get Blake Lively's reply due date until December 13th. So that's what it's going to look like. It says checking for inconsistencies. NAG revisited Blake Lively's interrogatory answers about the smear campaign. Okay, so this was another video that's going around that I have not covered. It's the unsealed interrogatories, exhibit 55, I believe, in docket number 946. And it's being talked about a lot. Jed Wallace's declaration and all that, saying that the wording appears carefully massaged of what Jed Wallace was saying in the wording. Honestly, Jed Wallace and Stephanie Jones are 2 of the cases that I have not really deep dived in. So I didn't even look into that exhibit that all the pro-Lively people are saying proves that there was a smear campaign. From what I've seen from other creators that have delved into it, it's mostly, they said it was because they list 30 examples or articles, and I think the last video I watched said that maybe there was one article that from Daily Mail that could have been, but mostly it was like in his defense or positive stories or anti Baldoni stuff, some of the articles that they put. So um yeah, I haven't delved into that, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to delve into that exhibit, but there are a lot of creators delving into that part. So I guess she talks about it in this video as well. It says, why Lively not filing an MSJ was smart. The smartest decision her team has made. Lively filed sanction motions claiming missing evidence and blaming Wayfarer. Filing an MSJ would imply that she already had all the evidence, contradicting her argument for sanctions. That inconsistency could have been damaging. So in her sanctions, if you guys remember, she was saying that there was evidence being withheld. And so NAG is making the connection that that is why an MSJ was not filed, because it would affect her sanction claims. It says LGA predicted Lively might try MSJ on Wayfarer's affirmative defenses, because a lot of people were asking, well, what grounds does she even have on filing a motion for summary judgment? And LGA had said it would be on Wayfarer's affirmative defenses. NAG says they likely avoided it because it would draw fire and reveal too much. It's better to stick with the, quote, Wayfarer destroyed evidence, quote unquote, narrative instead of showing their full hand. Says Lively's team can still show their evidence in their opposition to Wayfarer's MSJ, which, like I said, is due December 13th. And the goal in opposition is to prove that genuine factual disputes exist. So what we'll see in that answer is line by line them saying, well, this has factual disputes. Lively can still present everything without contradicting their sanctions argument. So that's NAG's view. Then we have a little girl attorney who breaks down the stipulation mystery. Did Lively's team ever intend to file an MSJ? And this is where it gets spicy, because if you remember at that one court hearing, Fritz even kind of clapped back. It was the court hearing that had like the messed up audio in the beginning. If you remember, Fritz even says, I don't think there's going to be an MSJ. And then her lawyer was like, yes, there will be. So let's get into it. It says, okay, Thanksgiving holiday. Okay, so this is just saying that opposition is due December 3rd. I keep saying December 13th, you guys. Sorry about that. December 3rd is when the opposition is due. So hopefully people watch long enough for my correction. I'll correct it in the description. Sorry about that. The reply is due December 12th. And I think the December 13th day is in my head because somebody asked me, when is Judge Lyman gonna rule on this? And I said December 13th at the earliest. That's if, he reads the reply on the 12th and then makes a decision the next day. But anyways, it says that the parties could only do 60 pages each. Remember that it had to be, when they filed this extension, they had these rules for page limits. So LGA has been wondering all day why Lively's team acted like they would file an MSJ when no lawyers following the case could see a viable basis. The comment reminded her that prior filings showed discussions about exchanging MSJs. The parties discussed exchanging MSJs, adjusting deadlines, and setting page limits stipulations. Oh, and I had it all small, y'all. Well, at least y'all could hear me reading, and a lot of y'all are listening, so sorry about that. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see. Because that's a lot of people like to read along on the screen. That's why when I like to know the docket number and stuff when we're over on TikTok and Bachi's reading out loud, I like to have it like in another window so I can like read along. Please like if you like coffee, said Jessica Lisi. Yes, as a reminder. Okay, yes, December 3rd, mark your calendar. As a reminder, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well. Or if you want to become a member, you can hit the join button if you're already a subscriber. But I'm trying to get to, I believe it's 2,000 followers here on YouTube by the new year. And then I'm trying to get to 1,000 on TikTok. I have 600, which was really cool. I gained a lot of followers over on TikTok this month. And so, yeah, if you guys can subscribe, if you guys like the content. Thank you, Trish, for liking it. Yeah, a lot of the time, I know that I always love being reminded because when I watch other content creators, I always forget to I come right on and then I just forget. So thank you for that. So let me just keep going with this. It says the parties discussed the parties discussed exchanging MSJs, adjusting deadlines, and setting page limit stipulations. This means that both sides told the court that they expected large filings and needed the time around Thanksgiving to prepare their responses. They stipulated an extension so both sides could manage the workload. Yeah, that was one of the reasons they gave too, because it was so close to the Thanksgiving holiday. Page limits were negotiated based on the assumption that both sides would follow MSJs. It was presumed Lively would file a competing motion. The structure of the agreement only made sense if two massive filings were coming. Did Lively's team enter this stipulation in bad faith? That is the question that LGA poses. She says if Lively never intended to file an MSJ, they might have entered the stipulation under false pretenses. This would effectively limit Wayfarer's ability to argue their defenses. She questions whether this was a litigation tactic designed to restrict Wayfarer's presentation. And a lot of people were saying, well, Wayfarer got it done in 60 pages or less and stuff, but could they have included more info in there if they had more bandwidth when it came to how many pages? So she poses that question, and I wouldn't put it past them. It says it's also theoretically possible that Lively teams backed out at the last minute. But it seems odd to negotiate deadlines and page limits only to drop the plan. Drafting an MSJ takes months, not days. So abandoning it on the eve of filing makes little sense. Why would you pay your lawyers all this money to get it together and then not file it? But I believe Fritz clocked them in that court hearing when he was like, "What? What do you mean you're going to file an MSJ?" He already kind of knew that it was BS there. So yeah, a lot of people are talking about this as well. I saw some commentary on the whole 60 pages ordeal, how they could have included more info, but I feel like they did a really, really good job. Alexandra Shapiro did a really good job with the 60 pages. So we're just going to keep going. And this is attorney Britt over on TikTok as well. Another attorney that I follow over there. It's at commit to the Brit. That's her at over on TikTok. And this was a kind of fresh take because everyone's kind of talking about the MSJs and all that stuff. But this was a fresh take and disclaimer, because a lot of people don't like the whole racial aspect of the case, where a lot of people thought that Blake Lively being a white woman, Jamie Heath being a black man, that there's a racial aspect to this. And some people don't believe that. I honestly didn't believe it in the beginning. I was just like, maybe not. But I remember Melanie King posted something. It was a big, long thread of the history of Blake Lively and with people of color and all this stuff. And sure, Ryan did his group effort initiative and all that stuff. But I remember reading that thread and I was like, okay, maybe this has legs. And so I thought this outlook was fresh, and I would put it on here for those of us who are following the "She'll Never Beat the Charges." There's a whole group. She'll never beat the allegations of racism, because there's been so many instances in which it's kind of obvious that there is some elements of that going on, allegedly for entertainment purposes. Y'all, I have the banner down here. But anyway, so we're going to get into what Britt, the attorney, said. It says, Lively has sued Justin Baldoni over her work on It Ends With Us. She has also sued Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, and Wayfarer. Many allegations are phrased as Baldoni and Heath did XYZ together. Britt critiques the idea that this is powerful man versus powerful woman on a set. She's saying this is a white woman accusing a black man, which carries a specific historical context. It points to a long history of white women's accusations causing serious harm to black men, especially when the woman is rich and powerful. And one of the other things that I thought made it have legs is because she's going after Natasha Heath, who's a woman of color, and she never goes after Emily Baldoni. For some reason, she just goes after Natasha Heath with this birth video, because she wants to prove that, it makes her look bad, like Natasha Heath with her legs open or whatever. The way that she described it, it's just going after her just doesn't make any sense. So that's why I feel like it does have legs, even when you include her behavior towards Natasha. It says allegations against Jamie Heath include showing Lively a post-birth video of his wife and baby before Lively's birthing scene, allegedly barging into her trailer while she was undressed, while Heath's account says he knocked, she invited him in, she told him to turn around, and she complained that he looked her in the eyes. And this will forever be my Roman Empire, y'all, that the eye contact. It was the eye contact. I always thought that it was like he looked at her because, you know, you read it really fast in the beginning. And I used to think like, oh, well, because he was trying to like look at, like, did she think he was looking at her boobs, or because, you know, she was supposedly breastfeeding or whatever it was, or pumping. And then no, it was just like he looked her in the eye. Well, to me, that's not SH. Like, he was not trying to look at her anywhere else. He was accidentally, and he said that he might have accidentally done it, like when you're talking to someone and you just kind of like forget and turn around and he just looked her in the eye. So I don't know. I believe his account just because she's not a very reliable narrator with the dance scene and other stuff that we've seen. So it says urges people to apply intersectionality and nuance when evaluating these claims. Prior criticism of Lively's alleged racist history, her clothing line, the blackface, the plantation wedding, the cease and desist over the coverage. And then she says, this is a question that she poses. Can someone with a racist history be a credible victim, specifically against a Black man in this context? So we're going to get probably into that when it comes to the voir dire. How do you say that? Voir dire. It's a word basically where it's like where you pick the jury. And it's these questions that you ask the jury so that you can like, you know, get the jury that kind of is going to be more in favor of your side. And so both sides get to ask these questions of the jury. And I wonder if it's going to come to play when, you know, depending on what race these jurors are, if they're going to try and, you know, picks up a diverse, it's New York, so I'm sure they will get a diverse crowd. I remember this came into play with Diddy's Child too, where they were like trying to get more, you know, Black men in the jury pool because they felt that it was the jurors that the state was dismissing were Black, and they felt like there was a racist component to that because they would be more likely to be pro Diddy. So anyways, it's just another little perspective that I thought was super fresh. I hadn't seen any other lawyers talk about this, and she did a good job about, you know, talking about it in a good way to where we could understand like what this means. And I love that she posed a question at the end. So go ahead and check out Attorney Britt as well. As we get into the jury stuff, there is Sarah Yarnenlaw over on TikTok. I know I've been talking about her a ton. She is a jury consultant, so she consults on, you know, how to get proper jurors on your team and all that stuff. She's going to come in clutch when we go to trial, but I love her stuff. She posted this on her story today. It's at CJournalist24, seeing McSweeney versus Cohen in the Wayfarer MSJ. And it literally was me because about 2 weeks ago, I believe, she clocked it and gave us a big rundown of McSweeney versus Cohen. It's the Real Housewives. I forget what her first name. I think it's Leah McSweeney versus Andy Cohen. And it went to Judge Lyman's court. He was the judge over it. And she did such a good TikTok live explaining it. And I wish she would have saved it. She did not save it, so we don't have that, but she's going to try and recreate it because she still has the PowerPoint. It was such a cute little PowerPoint presentation and in layman's terms and everything, because when it comes to court stuff, sometimes with like law, it takes me a while to catch it. So she's really good at explaining stuff. And she did a little video here on TikTok that I'm going to play for you guys. Just where she explains this, just because I'm obsessed with McSweeney versus Cohen. It's a Judge Lyman case. And this way you guys can know what I'm talking about when I say McSweeney and why it's important. I did another episode where I said this is checkmate for her. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys right now. And then I'll hang out with you guys in the chat for a little bit because it's 4 minutes, but you guys can be listening to this and then I'll answer some questions in the chat while we're listening. Oh, hold on. Let me switch the tab. That's what I need to do. Sorry about that, y'all. Hold on. Share this tab.
Ruling in March about, so McSweeney was working for Bravo. They called her a bunch of names. They made fun of her on air. They did all this horrible stuff to her. But she sent a letter saying, I'm going to sue you guys. So she was threatening litigation. And then they decided to go to the Hollywood Reporter and all these different magazines and say she's unprofessional, she's a drunk, she doesn't do her job, you know, she's just generally speaking badly about her. And she claimed that this was a retaliatory smear campaign. So she files the thing, and they filed a motion to dismiss. And what they said is, it isn't a retaliatory smear campaign because it isn't an adverse employment action, and she can't show that it impacted her employment. And here's what Lyman said. And he dismissed her case. And he said, it's not adverse employment action unless you're arguing that you're being blacklisted. He said, it's not adverse employment action that it makes you look bad for suing, because if you're suing, you knew what the options were before you filed your lawsuit. So if that hurts your reputation, that's on you. That's not their fault. And he said, no reasonable employee can just expect that the employer is going to sit back and take it. And he says, no one will lie down in the face of litigation. So if the employer believes that litigation is imminent, they're no longer acting in an adverse employment way, because what they're doing is defending themselves in litigation, and that includes in the court of public opinion. This is why it is a problem that she is saying, I was contemplating litigation in May of 2023. Because that means that gives them this alternative. And that's Sarowitz saying at the end of August to Claire on the recording, well, we might do litigation. If they can show, we thought we were getting sued, and that's what we were doing. That's why we were talking to Brian Friedman. That's what we were doing. Lyman has this ruling, and he just did this in March of 2025. And he said the employers do not have to lie down and take it if they are being accused of something. And this is a discrimination case. And she exhausted her administrative remedies. She went to the state of New York. She went to Title VII. She did all the right complaints that she has to do. So she had everything in all her ducks in a row. They had gone through arbitration even. She had everything. She had so much protected activity and so many good claims. And he said, once you threatened litigation, it was over. Because it's after that, it's not adverse. Even if they're going to Hollywood Reporter and saying that you suck, they're protecting themselves from litigation. And that's why I think they waited until this decision came out, because they needed to know how he was going to, what his thoughts were, so that they could rely on that heavily. And their answers were due March 16th, and the McSweeney thing was still pending. The thing is, Brian Friedman is tight with the Bravo lawyers. He's worked for a bunch of different Bravo people. So he knows Andy Cohen, and he knows, he knew what was going to happen, I think. Right. That's the thing. Like when she says we reserve the right to sue, if she really wants to argue that email in 2023 was them reserving the right to sue, she has given them an out that anything that they did was retaliatory because they were doing it because they were contemplating litigation. This is, and I noticed it when Fritz said this. He made this argument and then he quoted.
We don't hear what the other person is saying on the live because I think it might be a screen recording or something, but let me just finish up here. It's got about 1 more minute left, but yes, everyone is like gagged right now. Like, what? I'm trying to tell y'all, this is checkmate.
This McSweeney case, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of this. Like, that's weird that there's a case that says specifically smear campaigns aren't retaliatory. So I look at the case and I'm like, this is exactly what Blake is arguing. And the decision just, and it's like, and it was in March. So this is, yeah. So I did a PowerPoint. I know there were like people that came in. It's going to get brought up, Val. They have to. They've already kind of indicated. I mean, it's on his radar. If he's he's brought it up twice now in different filings. Okay, so let me say this again. So Leah McSweeney from Bravo had a bunch of discrimination claims against Bravo.
Okay, so that was that, y'all. And I'm just so happy that she uploaded that video because I was like, is there any way that I could show that video to the citizens over on my channel? And she basically was like, that video doesn't exist anymore. You saw her referencing it there. Well, let me do this while we're, yeah, you saw her referencing it there, that she was saying there was a PowerPoint presentation that she had done prior. So this is good because we are going to court, says Alice. This is cool because, you know, we got to see it. I was like, I really want to show them what you were talking about, the McSweeney. So I hope you guys understood it. You guys can see how well she explains it. It's super layman's. She said, these are the people who are in it. I love how she made the connection between Friedman and Cohen. And yeah, and so big shout out to Tanya for being so respectful when I was talking about the intersectionality aspect of this case. She gave her opinion so respectfully. I really appreciate it. Tanya, thank you so much for being here and showing support. I love having those conversations because I know that in the beginning, when all this was brought up, I was like, oh, this is a reach or this might not be true or whatever. And so I never really opened any articles or like read, I mean, not articles, but like TikToks or X posts that said anything about it because I was like, maybe it's a reach. But lately, someone else also said that if you look at all the videos when Blake is around, there's not people of color around the set and everything that she's featured in, it's all white people. And so I was like, okay, well, I was like, that's interesting to look at as well. So I don't know. I know that Ryan has that DEI stuff, but I don't know. It's like it's starting to see like how it might have legs there. Def worth exploring, says Tanya. I really appreciate your feedback. It was super respectful. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna continue with the show. That is most of the lawyer viewpoints. And I saw a comment up here. I wish that I could star comments. Thank you, Misty, for saying it's voir dire. Okay, voir dire. My voir dire. And look, Tanya even said the voir dire. I love like Justy Khaleesi tried to spell it too. Voir dire. Everybody was so helpful. This is the comment I wanted to put up. Ron Sombrano lawyer said plaintiff wouldn't file, or so I think my ears heard that. Yes, he was over there on Popcorn Planet. I did link that video in my post. That's a must watch for Ron Sombrano. I had already featured him on another show, so that's why I did not feature him in this episode. But I literally have the post linked under my community. If you go to community posts here on YouTube, the video is right there. It takes you straight to Popcorn Planet and has the whole Ron Zambrano episode. I love him, love his takes. He's been a day one and has been commenting on this case since the beginning. So love everything that he does. Okay, so let's see what else. I think they will go to court on a very pared down case. Yes. So this is what they're trying to do is basically maybe this MSJ is to just get down to the nitty gritty. And one of the things that people really wanted from Blake is to hear about what was her protective activity actually is. And that's what I'm looking forward to hearing. I thought it was going to be as part of her MSJ, but it's not. So we'll see how she responds. Funny, I know one of her kids will date a Black person at some point. Oh my God, I love this chat. Okay, so we're going to continue, y'all. Since I'm trying to finish before Lauren goes on, so you guys can head over there. So here we have Shapira telling off Ezra is poetry. This insight is great because so much kudos to Shapiro. Alexandra Shapiro came on board and she came on and took names. What's it called? Kicking butt and taking names. That filing was chef's kiss. We went from Brian Friedman's dope filings to Kevin Fritz's dope filings to now Shapiro literally keeping us like, wow. Like I was in amazement at that filing, how good it was. But here she is, and you get to see her during the depositions, how good she is. Like I'm telling you, y'all, this is going to be so cool to see these lawyers in actions. There's so many lawyers that I'm like, I love this. Like, it's going to be such a good show. Like for those who are for entertainment purposes, I know it's like a whole court hearing, and I try to be respectful of that fact because a lot of people, I know someone on X said, this isn't a show, this is people's lives, but there is an entertainment aspect to it. And the biggest show is these lawyers. I remember with Diddy, that was one of the things that excited me about that trial. And I didn't want to use the word excited because it's like it's people's lives that they went through and trauma and stuff like that. But it's exciting to see the lawyers. It's like watching sports. You see these lawyers try and come up with different things and use different case law. And anyway, so this is Shapiro where she claps back and says, she says, can you let him finish? So it's like we talked about the video. We didn't talk about the details of it. Brought up again that the video was shown. Again, I apologize to her, recognizing that she was surprised by it. But this wasn't written, but that topic was. So no more mention of Baldoni or Heath's previous addiction. I don't have an addiction. So certainly she wouldn't have never read that. So I believe this is Sarowitz who's saying this. I don't know who's the witness. Let me see if it says it here. But yeah, it was basically a clapback. So I wanted to highlight this. It says this will be a low-level post. Oh, Jamie Heat's deposition. Ezra goes to interrupt Jamie and Shapiro cuts her off. And if Ezra is anything like Meryl was just, when I saw her at the Perez Hilton trial, she was just, stuttering and not very good. I don't know. I don't know how she still was hired to do the Popcorn Planet case, because yeah, she just, if Ezra is anything like that, and we have kind of seen Ezra in action in some of these calls. Accidentally posted this on the, okay, I just hate Ezra so much. So anyways, I thought this one was pretty cool to highlight. In other news as well, another attorney has been added. This is Joaquin Escura. And one of the things that I saw, it doesn't say it here, but they said that he's a criminal defense, or like he does criminal stuff, and he specializes in like metadata as one of his like specialties. So a lot of people think that he's being added to possibly go after Stephanie Jones or something, but there's a lot of chatter about this new attorney, Joaquin Javier Escura. So we got some sounds like he might be Hispanic or something. Let's go look at him. Says he has relationships with Morris and Cohen. So let's just go see who this guy is, who we got over here. It's not loading. Hold on, I clicked on, oh, there we go. Joaquin Escura. So this is him. It says commercial litigation, contracts, real estate. Somebody said that he had done criminal metadata stuff. So I don't know where that is. Maybe in the other link. Maybe that's where he used to be. Oh, no, it's not available. I don't know. That's what I heard, but maybe I just didn't double check it. Let's see what they're saying here in the comments. They said, I wonder why they keep adding people. Well, it's a big case. I imagine there's a giant conference room. Like, even with me and like Little Nomad and some of the other sleuths, how we like stay up, I imagine that's what they do too. It's like staying up late nights, digging through stuff. They said Wayfarer are cooking. So that was another little tidbit. And then we got this one yesterday, and I don't know, it's blink and you miss it on the docket. Let me go ahead and play this for you guys. This came out yesterday. I'm going to have to remove, hold on. Let me remove it. Oh, and I had it all small, y'all. I need to always check my screen. But let me remove it real quick. Hold on, y'all. And then, okay, hold on. Let me remove it because it said my audio was out. And usually when the audio's out, so hopefully this plays. All right. Oh, what's it doing? It brought up like a whole screen. Hold on. Why did it turn vertical? Do you guys see my screen, or do you guys see like a bunch of stuff at the bottom? Oh, what did I do? I did something to the layout. Okay, I don't know what I did, y'all. Let me because now my window is like super small, like what I'm looking at. Did it affect you guys, or can you guys see the video? Oh, there we go. It went back to normal. That was weird. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys because this is T. We have way more evidence coming out. Okay, she said, I see you. Okay, here we go. Let me make myself smaller. And let me play this video for y'all.
Parties are going to be uploading more evidence. They've already uploaded 275 documents to support their summary judgment, and there's more coming. They had to ask the court for guidance, but separately, we respectfully seek direction on how the court would like to receive the summary judgment materials that, due to their size and format, could not be filed on the docket directly. It does say Blake has all of their exhibits already, that they've handed it to her separately, and they just need help getting it to the judge. Like, what else could possibly be coming? Because it already feels like they've uploaded everything in the kitchen sink. Like, we have the original script before any rewrites. We have contracts. We have text messages, email chains. We have everything. And there's more coming. This is like Christmas. I can't wait.
And that's all of us. It's like, this is like Christmas. I can't wait. And I feel bad like saying things like, oh, I'm so excited, or happy MSJ Day. When I was saying happy MSJ Day to everybody, I was like, this is so wrong. It feels wrong saying it because it's like, it's people's lives, like Baldoni's lives, Jamie Heath's life. Like, it's not for entertainment, but there's, like I said, there's a certain entertaining aspect of it because we want justice, and we were excited about getting justice, about seeing more text. And, partially maybe we are nosy about the text and stuff, but for me, mostly I wanted to see the text and stuff because I love the legal stuff, like the evidence and all that stuff. So, yeah, she says it's like Christmas. So here's the letter here in full so you guys can see it. It says, in accordance with section 21.7 of the electronic case filing rules, we respectfully request that the court permanently seal docket 936-115, which was mistakenly filed on the docket and which has now been provisionally been sealed. So I don't know what that was that got filed. The entire document should be filed under seal pending a determination from the designating party. And so I wonder if somebody read it before it was under seal. Weird. Okay, so separately, we respectfully seek direction on how the court would like to receive the summary judgment materials that, due to their size or format, could not be filed on the docket directly. And so could it be recordings? Remember, Blake Lively's side with the Claire Ayu recording, they had to provide physical CDs, so that couldn't be put in the docket. So I'm wondering, is it obviously videos that may be too large? I'm thinking maybe recordings. What else could not be filed onto a docket? Obviously, if it's text messages and stuff, unless it's like a ton of text messages, I'm thinking maybe Taylor Swift's text messages, maybe. I had a couple of ideas of what it could be. We have requested access to the court's large file transfer protocol, or if the court prefers, we can deliver a thumb drive to the court with all these relevant materials. We have separately provided access to Miss Lively's counsel. Now, this is crazy because I heard about this thing. There's a case in the true crime. It's the Jared Bridegan case. We call it the Stamping Up Harris case because she basically unalived her husband, Jared Bridegan, allegedly using a hitman. And it was so crazy. They had to build a whole website for the amount of evidence. I believe it was like 8 terabytes or something, and maybe I'm overly exaggerating, but I'm pretty sure it was like more than 5 terabytes. Like, it was an insane amount that they said it would take like years to comb through, and they ended up having to place like different teams to try to like redact stuff and build like a whole software like website for it, which is so crazy. So anyways, just a little side note there about how it works with big large files and stuff. I don't know how SDNY works because this case is out of Florida, but obviously they have stuff that they need to give and they can't do it through the docket. So that will be interesting if it's videos. I saw a little tidbit up here. I should have started. I need to just start starring them. Someone said that this is it was some hot tea kind of. Where is it? Quarter faith, lukewarm tea. Lukewarm tea here. Gottlieb. Sorry, I'm too lazy to look up the proper spelling. I think that's how you spell it, or the I before the E. Was the lawyer for my brother's law firm. He's not bad. BL is really making him look bad. Well, honestly, I want to do a whole episode on Gottlieb because I want to put all of his deposition work. If you look at how he's doing the depositions, I don't think he did a very good job. There's a couple points where he's like, sorry, that was a bad question. Let's just circle back. And also for the Drake motion to dismiss hearing, he botched. I mean, I liked what he did in the beginning as far as how he was acting. I was like, dude, he did pretty good. But then after the fact, when you see Judith Vargas' decision and see everything he left out and didn't say, that basically said, my decision can only take in the facts that were given to me there, and everything that's in the paperwork. And then he failed to give like meaning to the lyrics. And so she could only take into account the meaning that UMG had given. So he really dropped the ball. So I want to deep dive into it. Gottlieb's work. I want to do a whole episode on him. But I mean, he might have done good work on it, and it just depends case by case. Lawyers lawyering. I bet her lawyers are like, you want me to do what? Yeah, that's crazy. He's so blessed. Oh, we're talking about Justin. Justin's family is so beautiful and he's blessed. Yes, let's see what else. What's 4 new dockets? Did 4 new things drop? Yes. Okay. Why didn't I get a new? Wait, the original script is here. Yes. Wow. Okay. So hot tea, you heard it here first. Leave to file supplement to Rule 11. It's time for the truth to set him free. So the original script just dropped. Let's go see if we can pull that up in real time. Yeah, I did see WOACB is was talking about the Taylor Swift texts are going to get unsealed on Wednesday. Oh, it's lunchtime. Is it lunchtime over there? Are you on a different time zone? Gotta feed the kitties and Lucy, but I'm still with y'all. Okay. There's so much evidence we haven't seen, says. Let's go look to see if we can pull that up. I only have a couple other things here. We can pull that up real quick. Let me see if it's on docket updates and see if I can pull it up. It might not be. No, it's not there yet. Let me go to court listener and see if we can pull it up for you guys, at least just the script part, and see what's going on over there. So let's see. What does this say? I don't see it. Where in the docket? Oh, it's unsealed. Can you tell me which docket number and which exhibit it is? Whoever was saying that it got unsealed, can y'all help me out with that? That would be great, because then I could pull it up. But in the meantime, I'm gonna share some of this stuff. It says this is what citizens are saying over on Team Justin Baldoni. So these are the three that I follow over on Reddit. Team Justin Baldoni, it ends with lawsuits, and Blake Lively snark. Well, I don't have an account, so I don't follow, but these are the three that I go to see what citizens are up to. And it ends with lawsuits has been really, really good with its content over there. So annoying that Van Zandt subpoena to Stephanie Jones is still under seal. We've been waiting months just to get a peek. And then let me see if somebody already, it's on court listener 974. Okay. Oh, so it is this one, the main document? No, this is the leave to file. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Let's just go ahead and read it real quick then. Dear Judge Lyman, Plaintiff Blake Lively and former defendant Ryan Reynolds respectfully move for leave to file this letter to bring to the court's attention supplemental authority in support of the Lively parties respecting pending motions for sanctions. So it's a supplemental authority. He filed his Rule 11 motion. Where is the script? So this is all redacted. I don't see the script. I don't see that. Let me go back and see what y'all were talking about. Because that just looks like, oh, is it, do you need to buy it on Pacer, all this stuff? Let me see. Can y'all put a link in there maybe? They blacked out the depots. I don't see it. Who was telling us 971 is on stealing portions of it, but where do we see the script that just dropped? Who was talking about that there was a script unsealed? Let me go back up and see. I think it's videos and voice recordings from mics. Oh, that's what you think is the evidence they're trying to submit? Leave to file supplement to Rule 11. Oh, okay. So I was thinking the script. Oh, what was the script part? You guys' response to what you think it was? Okay, I think I might have read it wrong. No, they said, wait, the original script is here. Yes. My turn. Alice, can you link it in the chat? Christina says, I'm looking at my phone. 2 are letters to seal, and the other 2 are stuff we cannot see. Okay, so let's just continue with the show while we figure that out. What are the streets saying, y'all? Let's keep going. This one I loved over on It Ends with Lawsuits Again. It says, in the 12/28/23 email between ASAX, T Black, and JB, he included his notes and stated he had deleted the pretty please and the maraschino cherries line. I agree with his reasoning that these did not align with Ryle's character. My personal opinion is that they ruined the rooftop scene. I can't imagine what must have been going through JB's mind. Says I can't include the link, but it's Exhibit 81, and so I pulled it up here for you guys. He says, hi, all. Can we hop on at 10 a.m.? They say yes. And then they say, thank you for this helpful breakdown. And so here's the breakdown. It says, I have Chris Surgeon, our AD here to have eyes on this so he can digest at the same time as all of you. I spent the better part of the last few days trying to figure this out. Everyone knows how I feel about this and how angry I am that Blake has taken over our film and somehow rewrote a movie we spent years developing, writing, and funding. So yes, I am furious. So for everyone who's saying like, oh, the Baha'i stuff and he always took the high road, there was points and times where he was human and he didn't. And, you know, that's all of us when we have these moments. And especially me, I remember in the inmate 214, the Idaho 4 murder, I'm super, you know, I'm Christian and I try not to have like bad thoughts and stuff like that. But with him, it was like I constantly had to remind myself, like, okay, you're Christian, all that stuff. So it happens to the best of us. But here you see him. He says, I am furious and sad, but I will continue to get back up with the goal of getting us to the finish line. I have come to terms with the fact that the only way is through. I am waving the white flag and submitting, and I'm going to give her 98% of what she wants. I'm sure none of us have the energy to fight her anymore. The team who has been working their ass off needs a shooting script on January 2nd. So here's where they are. There's minor things I did in each scene. Some I made notes on and tiny ones I didn't. Most of what I touched is below. The big issues are going to be intimacy, how and what we are shooting for those scenes, and how the script is going to be presented to her and with that notes. To that end, we will need to get on the phone and talk through it, as the risk of something innocuous or not meeting her standards could and would very likely be used against me. It already has. And creativity is impossible in an environment shrouded in fear. By now, we all know what she's capable of. The rest of the notes below we need to walk through together. So it says, here's some of the stuff. Scene 11, adjusted lines, remove Lyle saying pretty please, not in character, and remove subsequent maraschino cherry line. And she did leave that in, right? As far as I know, she does talk about the cherry stuff in the rooftop scene. So I don't know how that was left in. Remove no kissing on the mouth line per Sony. Consider another alt for this P word. I don't know if I am allowed to say it on TikTok. I mean, on TikTok, on YouTube. Fitness influencer or personal trainer. Naked truths aren't always pretty. Need the line from the book. Removed, I want to take you. Put back in, I want to have sex with you. Keep the rest. We can do an alt and try on the day. Adjusted line after how many women has this worked on. And then it says change karaoke to Lucky Strike. Leaving Alyssa and Marshall in a scene that will be completely schedule dependent. Very high probability this will not work, and scene will be just Lily and Ryle walking up in the apartment. We have not been able to make schedule work for both actors in no time. Be prepared for the two of them to not be in a scene but leaving a unit until we know more. Removed, added establishing shot, no money for DigiBuild. We don't have a plate of lily blooms. Some storyboards and intimacy here. It says also need to discuss shirtless VS Tank as she took out him being shirtless. And I feel like these are all Ryan Reynolds edits. Don't think the no sex line works as it was removed before per Sony note. We'll be first to go and edit, but I guess we'll keep in for unity. Took one line after to shorten. Need to know what Angie wants to do here. Halloween moment will be dependent on Chris AD and if he thinks we can do it with hair and makeup. Let's see. Angie, remove the no kissing on the mouth line. Don't think we need dialogue here. She will fight back. Removed hospital scene again. Added I love you too back into the loft morning scene. I am happy to go back and edit and take a look at the hospital scene per her request, but I need to shoot I love you in the scene. A new mirror moment will be time permitting. Need to discuss intimacy here. My boards have a fun moment between the two of them, coming in drunk and being playful. I imagine this is what made her say the boards were cheap, that it made it look cheap. Intimacy, not sure what to do here. She's moving the scene from the bedroom into the kitchen. This is one I think I covered on another show, which takes away from the intimacy and how I was planning on shooting it. And you can hear his frustration here. I wanted her to run in the kitchen from another area to sell the misdirect that it was an accident. She's removed kissing, which is fine in the end. The last thing I want to do is kiss this woman. So this is the excerpt that's coming out in a lot of the media. I know that at least I think TMZ cited it and another outlet cited this piece. But the point is they need to get distracted enough to forget about the oven. And now with dialogue here, it changes it from a timeless moment of two people about to make love to dialogue that brings us into the realm of time. Not sure what to do in this scene. Another thing to note here is the final shot of this scene is not scripted, but it's supposed to be Ryle carrying her away, which is symbolic of her losing control in the relationship at this moment. I foresee her not wanting to do this, which puts us at an impasse for how I want to shoot the scene. Not sure how to proceed. She didn't want him lifting her, remember? It says remove line he wouldn't have in the book. Dad did hurt her, so that's not anything relevant to that. Remove Lily and Ryle placing the photo on wall. Cheesy. Also removed an entire wall of photos of their life and travels. Some photos okay, won't pass on to the production designer. Left her dialogue intact. Let's see what else is here. Need to discuss, added in all the abuse moments and how they will be shot per our production and previs plan. The owner that takes us through her memories. This will be a hill I die on. This will be a hill I die on, he said. Like, he's not budging. No time for a new idea. And we've spent days and days planning this, workshopping it, and previs with stunts. I don't know what previs is. Like pre-visuals, maybe. No longer driving through the red light. Make this a short scene in the car where she enters and has a moment alone. She can make the action whatever she wants. Ryle builds crib. Need to discuss. Left as is, but that means losing the moment of Ryle touching her belly and them having a moment. Final scene, adjusted the beginning. Too much dialogue with Emmy. The whole thing in my mind is MOS, but we'll shoot it for peace. Remove the man bringing such joy to all ages as he makes giant bubbles. We can look into extras casting. Hate that I couldn't miss you if I tried line. But again, leaving it in for peace. So another line that she put, couldn't miss you if I tried. So that's that. Let me go and check in on the chat as we wrap up here. What's going on over here in the chat? Which line did you love? Quarter, the Maraschino line? What's the Maraschino line? Can you tell me what the I just heard about it, but I don't know what the Maraschino line is. Tanya, the scene with him in scrubs, the arms and the chest. He deprived us of I thought he does take off his shirt. Doesn't he take off his shirt in the one bedroom scene in the trailer? Or am I tripping? Because that's the one that Brian reposted the day that he finds out that he's blocked, May 17th, is when he reposts the trailer on his Instagram. Ryan does, and he says, oh, something about he wishes Blake wasn't sleeping with other men. Like, go check out this movie. I love it, except for the fact that Blake sleeps with other men. And he didn't say her character. He was saying Blake sleeps with other men. So it was really weird. And I thought that one had him taking... what else? Oh, yeah. Missy says righteous anger. Yes. Oh, you were talking about the script. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I got y'all excited. Like, wait, what? The script dropped? The TikTok video you played, the chick said the script is part of the evidence. Yeah, so it could be the original script is an exhibit. Okay, so sorry, y'all. I get lost in the sauce sometimes with the chat. What I'm going to try and do is just open it up in another window and start doing the shows on my Mac, like on the desk, because this is just on my laptop. But on my Mac, I can open up another window and see the chat as I'm going. Okay, so there was 4 new docket drops, and yeah, I misunderstood about that. Take care, Trish. See y'all around. If there's another live tonight, thank you at CJ. There is another live over at Lauren's. I'm not sure when that starts. I was trying to figure it out so I could give you guys the heads up. I'm pretty sure she usually goes on 9 EST, so it's going to be here any second. So let me just wrap up. I think I have like 3 more tabs. I think I'm going into the headlines. So there was no new headlines today with Blake. There was one from like Reality T about how she might be regretting not being friends with Taylor Swift or something. But these are most of the headlines that are still up today when you Google Blake Lively. Nothing new has popped up, but it's Justin Baldoni. Kiss you. Blake improvised kissing me. So that's the video. Watch the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni kiss. He claims she improvised and it ends with us. Justin Baldoni dominates It Ends With Us battle with explosive new clip. Justin Baldoni releases clip seemingly showing Blake Lively doing what she accuses him of. Legal twist. Justin Baldoni asks court to block Blake Lively's $161 million lawsuit from going to trial. Justin Baldoni asked judge to dismiss Blake Lively's $161 million lawsuit. Says no reasonable jury would find him guilty. So where's the 161 coming from? Is that not including like treble damages? Is that what it is? I thought it was up to 600 million. Justin Baldoni aims to toss Blake Lively's suit, saying claims amount to minor grievances. Justin Baldoni says Blake Lively lawsuit merely about reputation should be thrown out. Justin Baldoni asked judge to drop Blake Lively's sexual harassment lawsuit, citing minor grievances. Justin Baldoni is now accusing Blake Lively of adding an improvised kiss to It Ends With Us. Justin Baldoni attempts speedy end to Blake Lively legal battle with surprising strategy. This is funny that he says he's just now adding it. No, this was in the original counterclaim and answer and all that stuff was that she did, but now he's bringing the receipts. And like Friedman said, there's plenty of receipts. Justin Baldoni claims Blake Lively improvised kisses for the deleted scenes. And then I want to show you guys this video that I had made because I thought it might be fun for you guys to watch real quick. Let me share this tab. So I made this. It says, "Winter is here."
Winter is here.
So I thought that was a little cheeky because I kept saying, "Winter is coming." I'm like, "Winter is here." They dropped receipts. They did not come to play. If you guys don't follow me over on TikTok, it's the same. It's the same handle everywhere. I don't post to Instagram, but you guys can follow me over there for whenever I do revive that account. And speaking of Instagram, Jesse and Max isn't here, but look how cute what they made for me. Let me see. Where is it at? Did I accidentally close it? I might have accidentally closed it. They made me a really cute edit. Because you know how I always say I don't want no smoke? They made me a really cute edit. Let me see if I can go find it real quick. Jesse and Max, they're also Asshole Media on Instagram. That's their handle. But I thought you guys would love it. Because you know how I'm always like, I don't want no smoke. And she made this video and I thought it was so cute. Okay, here it is.
You niggas don't want no smoke. Don't want no smoke. You niggas don't want no smoke.
I thought that was really cool, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. Let me just double check that I did not leave anything out. And then we'll check the chat one more time as we wrapping up everything. Oh, I know what I was going to get into before we wrap up. So what is next, you guys? Because I'm not going to stream tomorrow. Remember, I thought it was Thursday when I said that in part 1 that I was going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off and I will be back on Sunday. We will be doing the, hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Hold on one second. Oh, you guys couldn't see it. Like I wasn't sharing the screen. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me go pull it back up. I didn't realize that there was an, that you guys couldn't see the screen.
We got the smoke. Don't want no smoke. You niggas don't want no smoke.
So, okay, there it was. I didn't realize that it wasn't sharing the screen. Or was it? And then I accidentally clicked it off. Maybe that's what I did. Okay, but let me just, this is the thumbnail for Sunday's show. Is David, oh, so you guys did get to see it. Okay. Maybe I just clicked it off after. Sometimes it'll just remove it. The last time when we were doing the MSJ that night with DFJ, she was presenting and then she's like, oh, you obviously don't want me to present because it clicked off the stage and she thought I had clicked it off. And I was like, nah. CJ, you're getting your days mixed up again. I know. I literally thought it was Thursday. I don't know if it was because of all the, Lauren put on X that she is going live tomorrow instead of tonight. Okay, well, that's another thing. I was like, if people are watching replay crew, well, I'll have to put a disclaimer that she didn't go on. So she'll be going on tomorrow then. And so that gives us a tiny little bit more of time to hang out. I think since I came on late, I'll go another 10 minutes. Thanks, Christina. I was confused. Okay, so she wasn't going on. I mean, she had posted that she would be going on tonight. She wants 650 million when you add in all the stuff. Okay. Yeah, because I've seen outlets keep saying 160. Yes, please remember to like and subscribe if you guys have not liked it. If you guys came in late, give it a like. When you guys leave here, if you guys can drop a comment, and you can even go comment now, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you have to wait till it's done. But if you guys, what should we do? I like how Perez says if you watch till the end, comment this. What should we comment today? We should comment. Let's see, what did we discuss? Checkmate. Yeah, so if you watched it all the way to the end, comment checkmate in the comments. And that way I know you listened through to the end. And yeah, it is checkmate with that McSweeney versus Cohen thing. Freeman is like, we ride at dawn. Yes. So yeah, we're gonna get into Is David Cooked and more true crime updates. You guys, it's gonna be a spicy one on Sunday, and we might have more info because SF Investigates. He posted today just the meme. It just says cooked, and everyone's in the comments like, "Are you talking about David? Are you talking about David?" He did not respond, but that's why the thumbnail is David Cooked. As well as more true crime updates. We're gonna update you guys on the Diddy stuff. On inmate 214 of Idaho 4. We don't say his name, but you guys know who that is. Some Barry Morphew stuff with the Chipmunk Slayer that had come out. And I believe that's it. Also, I'm going to be uploading this weekend some docs onto my Patreon of cases that it goes with the I don't want no smoke. It's the no smoke Patreon club. Over there on Patreon, it's got the Amanda Ghost filings that Miriam was so kind to give money towards so I could buy those. I do ask for a small donation to download them just to keep the docket fund going. I'm gonna upload the Kim K, Ray J stuff over there. I don't want to report on it on here because I don't think like the algo and I don't want no smoke. But if you guys just want to go read it, like I'm not going to report on it or, give opinions on it or anything like that. But I did buy the documents and I am going to post them over there on Patreon. So look forward to that this weekend. Hopefully I have it up by Sunday's show. The baby disabled her phone, said Trish. Let's see what else. What else you guys are saying since we can hang out here for a bit. Let me see what else you guys are saying. I scrolled all the way up, but I think I covered most of those. Who's on 5 years probation? Diddy? Oh yeah, Diddy. 1 week in jail and he added another month. At this rate, he's never getting out. Well, remember when Harvey and Brian Friedman and Mark Garagos went on Two Angry Men at the very end? He's like the hooch story that Ciroc planted. That's another rabbit hole, allegedly, we don't want no smoke on, but something to look into. Diageo, Ciroc, all that. I don't know how much of that story I believe that happened. Allegedly for entertainment purposes, could have been oh, everyone's replying checkmate here. Do it in the comments when the video's done, you guys. But yes, checkmate. Do it in the comments when the video's done. Oh, look. Some Portuguese. Bom sábado, aqui sábado. 2 a.m. até domingo. See, my Portuguese is not very good, but I can say bom sábado. Aqui sao. I my pronunciation sucks. I know French too, and my pronunciation is like, what are you saying? But yes, thank you so much. We had a lot of people who were in my last chat when I was saying that I want to practice Portuguese that were like encouraging me to they were like, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Portugal. So that's cool. Something about Sunday. Something about Sunday. Yes, it's basically saying oh, let me pull it back up again. Where did it go? Yeah, that it's 2 a.m. over there, almost Sunday. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. almost Sunday. Girly. LOL. What is the money, Christina? Or what is that? Is that money, money, money? Oh, ladies be making it rain in the chat. Miriam's name should be Sugar Mama. Oh, because she be making it rain. Yeah, she gave me the money for the Rebel docket. I did not end up downloading the Australian one because that one was like, I think $32. I never ended up going to go get that, but I did spend some of that money on at least the complaint, the answer, and the counterclaim for the regular case. The reason why I never reported on that case, I did a little bit with Abe, Ashley Brianna Eve, but it was her channel started to have trouble. And so I didn't want there to be any trouble on my channel that's why I don't want to report on the Kim K Ray J stuff either. I don't want there to be any problems with the channel. So I felt like that's a middle path. I'll put that stuff over on Patreon so you guys can just read it. And that way, at least if, for the nosy people who want to get into the docket and read it, you guys can, and it'll be there because it's spicy. I read it and it's pretty spicy, especially the counterclaim. So yeah, so have a nice Saturday. See you guys Sunday. Yes. My 7 years of Spanish has lended crossover to Portuguese, says Quarter. Yes. Both have crossover. So we're going to end it with this song. Like you guys know, I have been big fan of Bocce Go Hawks over on TikTok. Give her a follow. She's now here on YouTube uploading shorts. I'm so excited for her because I was encouraging her to come to YouTube. I encouraged her to do the Spotify stuff. And so it's really cool just to see, like a friend and a fellow peer in this, just doing her thing. And it's just really cool. So this one is Waste Our Time. So I'm just going to play a little tidbit. It's over on YouTube. If you don't have Spotify or whatever, you can play them on YouTube. So I'm going to play it real quick. Like it's wasting our time.
Flood the docket, drown the proof, spin the story, change our view. Flood the docket, waste our time while you're crashing out on Instagram. Use the docket for PR spin. You got media in your pocket. They've got no shame. They lie for you. Flood the docket, drown the proof, spin the story to change our.
All right, so that was that. And one final thing, I know a lot of people already left, but what's next? We do have that what is it? The response to the MJOP that's going to happen on the 19th. So that's what's next. That was the only thing that I forgot to cover was what's next. And the 19th today, Popcorn Planet had a hearing, and the 19th is when they are going to be back in court after an in-camera review is done on his privilege log. So that happened today too. So anyways, y'all, I appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out. It's always a pleasure. I wonder if Blake's going to want royalties for that song since she inspired it. It's a whole album, so I wonder. Yes, Jess Khaleesi, please remember to like and subscribe, comment checkmate if you watched it till the end, if you're part of Replay Crew. Thank y'all. You guys have a good night. We will see you Sunday for the David Show, and if not, we'll see you Monday morning. Take care, citizens.